Thank you, Charles. Guitar Hero certainly setting the pace. John Kennedy from the IFPI.
Well, you know, last night, on the day that Barack Obama secured the Democratic nomination, I also had a dream. I was at Music Matters 2009. The logo was a stick and a carrot. It'd been tough for organisers to find an opening keynote speaker to rival Paul McGuinness from 2008, but they nearly made it in a coup that had President Obama to open day one, calling for greater global respect for intellectual property. He was swiftly followed by the newly honoured Sir Harvey Goldsmith, who surprisingly was moderating a panel seeking greater respect and admiration for lawyers. As this was a dream at Music Matters 2009, I'd been given the chance to look back on the previous 12 months from a professional and personal perspective. I was very upbeat. From a humanitarian point of view, a definitive cure for AIDS had been found. From a personal point of view, my son had started doing his homework. Both of these have been equally challenging. And professionally, I was able to announce that in the last 12 months, music revenues had actually increased. This was because Motorola and Omniphone revenues had exploded. China Mobile had surprisingly announced as a starting point they would split all their revenues from music 50-50 with the music industry. And this was going to rise to 80% over the next 3 years. The take-up for Comes With Music had been a remarkable 25% of Nokia's subscribers, and spurred on by this, Steve Jobs had announced an Apple subscription service called iSubscribe. Launched with a major advertising campaign around Gloria Gaynor's new recording, I Will Subscribe. A 3 strikes and you're out campaign had been widely adopted and almost no disconnections had been necessary. Warning notices had driven traffic to all these great news services. And with a tear in my eye, I was able to say that for the first time, not only is more music being consumed than ever before, but more music was being paid for than ever before. But then the best thing in my dream was that the night before, the best thing during the previous 12 months was the night before the opening of the Beijing Olympics, the Chinese government had thrown a party for the music industry. And 2 great things happened at that party. First, they announced the introduction of a broadcast and public performance right for the recording industry. And then, as we thanked them effusively, Robin, the chairman of Baidu, stepped out from behind the curtain. He told me Baidu was going legal, and he presented me with a check to IFPI for $3 billion USA for the sins of the past. Now, as this was a dream, our members said, John, you keep 10% for a bonus. And I, being the generous person I am, used some of my bonus to pay for brain surgery for Bob Lefsetz. To try and make him a normal, polite human being. And because this was a dream, the surgery worked. But with a couple of minor side effects. His favorite artist was now Britney Spears, and he was trying to get a job with Clive Davis or Leo Cohen. And then I woke up, and of course I felt flat because it had all been a dream. I thought about the cure for AIDS, the exploding music revenues, even my son doing his homework, and the $3 billion check from Baidu. And yet, it all seemed really possible. Then I remembered Bob Lefsetz is a normal, polite human being. Too far-fetched. Sadly, it had all been an impossible dream.
Well done, John.